Hey guys, it's Brian. Here's my front lawn. It's been a couple weeks since I've shown this. It has gotten overgrown. Mostly what we're looking at here is Bermudagrass and all of the crazy seed heads that have come up over the past couple weeks. Seed heads and Bermudagrass are pretty common in the summer and as we go into fall, and most of that is because of stress. By fall, we're starting to experience a little bit cooler temperatures and seed heads can start popping up. It's kind of a natural response before dormancy. During the summer, however, seed heads are coming up frequently because of other sorts of stresses. One of the most common forms of stresses is water and a lack of fertilizer, and both of those things are happening right now. As weird as it is to admit it, I haven't fertilized this lawn in about 8 weeks. Yet it has been growing in and thickening out quite a bit. I have also stressed it out by not giving it very much water at all over the past couple weeks while we've been around 90 degrees. And exactly 15 days ago, I took a verticutter to it and I really damaged the kikuyu grass predominantly along the edges of my paved surfaces. Not only that, but 2 days ago, I applied halosulfuron to the entire yard with an emphasis on the areas that have nutsedge more than others. So there might be a little bit of stress inflicted on it because of that. But quite frankly, once you pair low water inputs during high heat, even for Bermuda grass that is a heat-loving, drought-tolerant grass, it's still a stress. And if we pair that together with not mowing it, I've mowed this one time, well, the last time I mowed this was 15 days ago when I was running the verticutter. And I haven't fertilized this lawn in 8 weeks. It hasn't gotten any nutrients whatsoever. So because Bermuda grass grows so aggressively and fast, and this grass has actually filled in a lot of the space, all of this space here in the middle used to be dirt because it was Poa annua. Killed the Poa off and the Bermuda has spread into the space. Because it is growing so vigorously, it needs extra nitrogen. Now here on the Tropicanic brand, I'm always talking about how we don't want to give more nitrogen than is necessary, but a grass that is growing heavily is going to require more nitrogen. And if I'm not giving the nitrogen, the fertilizer to the lawn, it is going to be tapping into, let's call it its emergency reserves. That is a stress. And it responds by putting on tons and tons of seed heads. All right, check this out. Everything that you see that's yellow is essentially the kikuyu grass that I scalped and basically damaged it heavily, and it's starting to grow back. It always seems to come back a little bit more yellow. As it greens up, it turns into more of a lime green than the Bermuda does, so it doesn't match. But the yellow is the damage that I inflicted to it a couple weeks ago. It is recovering, but you see within it, there's darker green. This is a good example right here. So we've got a bunch of kikuyu, and then you see how this darker green, this is the Bermuda that's slowly moving into the area. You'll also notice everywhere that the Bermuda, see, look at all these seed heads. Tons and tons and tons of seed heads. But everywhere that the Bermuda is actively spreading, there's much fewer seed heads. So like the grass is spreading that direction. Look at this. Look at this right here. The grass is just spreading to fill in the space, but there's no seed heads here. There's a couple over here, a few on the fringes. And here's an amazing example over here. This spot was 100% Poa annua a handful of months ago. Killed it all off. I didn't seed, but the fertilizer has pushed the Bermuda grass towards the dead spot. And we've got seed heads all around it. And in the middle, it's still spreading to fill in, but there's a much smaller density of seed heads in there. And you can even see the difference from the street. Like it looks like a bowl. This patch right here, there's a lot of sedges. Those should be starting to die off from the halosulfuron, otherwise known as sedge hammer, that was applied to it a couple days ago. So as that dies off, we'll slowly start getting a slight improvement in consistency throughout the lawn. Certainly the consistency is not going to be there while I've got kikuyu competing with Bermuda at the same time. But anyway, considering the fact that we've had a lot of heat, I've applied very, very little water to this, and I haven't fertilized it in 8 weeks. This Bermuda really is under a lot of stress right now. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go over it with a mower. I'm gonna stick a bag on, cut all of those seed heads off, bag them all up, and then I probably will come back out here. Oh, there's my son. Say hi. Hi. Hey. Say hi again. Say hi 3 times.
Hi, hi, hi.
And then I might come back over here with the real mower to bring it all the way back down to the bottom. I'll totally be breaking the 1/3 rule on this, but with most rules in the lawn, they can be broken so long as you don't break them every single time. All right, as I set up the camera here, so you can enjoy watching me mow if you want to. After I mow this, I might not even film this. I'm gonna go ahead and put some fertilizer on this because it hasn't gotten fertilizer in a long time, for simplicity and fastness, because I got a lot going on in the life right now. I'm going to put a hose end sprayer bottle of, what's it called? Green Machine. It's called Green Machine from Lawn Bright. It's a 16:4:8 product, so it's pretty close to my optimal NPK ratio. The bottle, I'm going to put it on the whole bottle. It's a 2-pound bottle, so I'm going to put down, it's about 0.32 pounds of nitrogen will be going on to this. So it's not a ton, but it should help bring the lawn back out of this, this area of stress, so long as I give it some water also. Many of you guys don't know, but you can actually buy Lawn Bright products without subscribing to a lawn care delivery service plan. So I'll put some links down in the description below for those of you who care, and a link right up here in this QR code over to the website where you can learn a little bit more about these products. With that said, let's enjoy the mow. Well, I'm going to say that looks a lot better, but it's not down all the way. There's still some seed heads down there. It doesn't have that kind of like gray haze to it that it had before. I'm going to turn the camera off, bring the mower all the way down because I filled the bag up on that next up setting. I'm going to mow it all the way down to the bottom. That way I can start real mowing it again. All right, we're getting closer now. I got that down as low as the Toro will go. I had to go over it something like 3 times to empty the bag and to pick up all of the miscellaneous clippings on the ground. That's some thick grass. It doesn't look uniform in color, but everything is quite thick. Now I'm going to go ahead and spray stuff on the lawn to give it the nitrogen it needs to keep pushing through the rest of the summer here. Just about anything will do. I'm using this for simplicity, but it's also super duper nutritious for the lawn. It's got a good balanced ratio, not balanced like, 5-5-5, but it's a good ratio for the lawn. This also has a bunch of fish kelp in it and amino acids and some trace nutrients and micronutrients as well, making this a pretty good jack of all trades, fast hose end fertilizer. Well, I never figured I was going to get around to filming me applying the fertilizer to the lawn, but obviously I did. So once the fertilizer goes onto the lawn, because that particular product is urea based, I needed to get it into the soil. It's got to be watered in right away. So I went and kicked on my sprinkler system. This is the new Green system that I just installed on my front lawn. If you've never seen it before, let this be a kind of a sales pitch to not buy the Green system, but to learn a little bit more about it, because I think you're going to see this everywhere in the coming years. So down in the description below, I've got a link to my website where I review the pros and cons. I'm not really trying to sell anyone on this. I do want you guys to understand what the system is about. And I want you to understand its limitations, because it's got a lot of limitations. I go into all of that on that website. So go ahead and take a look at the link below. Thank you.